Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Lecture Notes. So today I'll be explaining a novel, Arjun, which is written by Sunil Gangopadhyay. And in this particular video, I'll be explaining only chapter 1. So this novel is basically based on, is a part of partition literature, and you'll see what are the effects, how the people felt before partition and after partition. And the protagonist is Arjun, but in the first chapter, you'll not hear any details about Arjun, but what we will acknowledge is in the what are the surroundings in which Arjun was living after the partition. So in the first scene or first 2 3 pages, you will see there is a girl Labonya who is very much irritated because there is no electricity, which highlights the condition in which the people are living after partition. So this girl I'll be taking few lines from this chapter, not whole chapter, but only few lines which I feel is relevant and you should know about it. So moving on to the first line that I have taken from the novel is, take a good look at that girl, referring to Lavanya. You cannot see her very clearly, of course, since it is much too dark. The electricity has just gone off in their house, in the whole neighborhood, but she just keeps on sitting with her books in the faint hope that the lights will come back on. She's about 21, her long hair hanging dark now. So, this is the kind of a physical description. And in the next paragraph, there is a characteristic of her as well, in case the question comes about Labanya. In her cramped little room, Labanya continued to fret with unease and irritation. A minor thrashing about in its cage was that she reminded one of. So she's sitting alone, she's trying to study, but she's unable to study because there is no electricity. And here she has been compared to Mina, who, because she was sitting alone for hours and she was not able to do anything, so she feels as if she is in a cage, she's not able to do anything, but she has to stay at home because there is no electricity, no light, and a girl cannot go out at night. One could not call Labonya beautiful, but she had a fine pair of eyes. When she was unhappy or when she concentrated on some thought, her eyes acquired a darkness and a depth, and her face was illuminated with a touch of grace. Most people could never see this, but her father has been able to perceive it, which was why he had called her Lavanya. But the girl was too headstrong. Anger rather than sorrow was her passion. So she could not pass her exams last year, and this year there was this girl all by herself, a girl who had health rather than beauty, who badly wanted to pass her exams but was throbbing with irritation. She simply could not bear the darkness. So, in the first 2 3 pages, it has been explained that Labanya, she is irritated, pissed off because of there is no electricity, and last year also she had failed in her exams, so her only aim is to study and clear this exam, but she is unable to study, and the basic thing is that there is no electricity. Now she, as there is no electricity, so she is standing nearby the window and she see two men. One is Sukhen and second is Dibya. So I've given a physical description of both of them, physical as well as their characteristics. Sukhen was about 32 but did not look more than 22 or 23. With his thin, wiry body, he did not have much of a bread either. A few more years of youthfulness were left to him. He sung well, but he also worked in a bakery, a point he made quite often to his other unemployed friends. So Sukain was a good person who was working, and he also enjoyed his passion, which was singing. Next one is Dibya had once been runner-up in the junior group of the Bengal wrestling competition. He had not won the title because he hadn't learned all the tricks of his art properly, but in contests of sheer physical strength, all the other competitions would have been as mere children to him. So Dibya has been shown a person who has a great amount of physical strength. He could not he could not win wrestling competition because he did not learn all the tricks, else he would have been the winner. So now they are giving a physical description that how, because of electricity was a major problem, but because of this major problem, there were many other problems. So the neighborhood suffered frequent visitation from thieves, and this kind of darkness created ideal conditions for them. So the main doors of all the houses were locked. The power could remain cut all night. It had happened before. So the power cut was a normal thing or a routine thing from them, and it had happened before, highlighting that it was such a normal thing that sometimes they had electricity and sometimes they did not have. So Kane and Dibya were patrolling the entire colony. It was their job at times like this. Not that anybody had entrusted them with this duty. It was something they had taken upon themselves. So this is a good trait about Sukain and Dibya, that nobody had told them to guard their locality, but they themselves volunteered to take charge and control, that they are going to provide a safe environment for the rest of the people. So I'll be explaining these two slides in Hindi. That लबन्या एक लड़की है जो 21 years की है, पर उसके पास ब्यूटी नहीं है, वो सुंदर नहीं है, पर उसके पास माइंड है, वो कभी कभी गुस्से में आ जाती है, मतलब उसके बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग करेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं, पर वो सुंदर नहीं है। और पार्टीशन लिटरेचर के बाद, मतलब बेसिकली पार्टीशन के बाद यहाँ पे दिखाया गया कि इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं है, तो कैसे वो सरवाइव कर रहे हैं, जी रहे हैं, और कितनी हार्डशिप्स हैं उनकी लाइफ में। फिर दो जनों के बारे में बताया गया, एक सुखेन है, एक दिव्या है। दिव्या के बारे में हाईलाइट ये किया गया है कि वो, उसके पास बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रेंथ है, वो बहुत ताकतवर है, और तभी उसने अपने ऊपर एक ड्यूटी ले ली है कि आई नीड टू प्रोटेक्ट, मुझे इन सबका ध्यान रखना है। और वो रात को एज अ गार्ड इधर से उधर घूमता रहता है जब लाइट नहीं होती, क्योंकि जब लाइट नहीं होती तो थीव्स आने की कोशिश करते हैं, चोर आने की कोशिश करते हैं। तो बीइंग अ जेंटलमैन, बीइंग अच्छा इंसान, उसने सोचा है कि मैं प्रोटेक्ट करूंगा अगर कुछ ऐसा होता है, बिकॉज ही हैज अ गुड ट्रेट ऑफ फिजिकल स्ट्रेंथ। So moving on, in this paragraph, I've explained about Labanya's grandfather. So he's a blind man who has been blind for such a long time कि जब इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जाती है तो वो खुश हो जाता है कि अब सब उसकी नजरों से देख पा रहे हैं, कि वो कुछ भी नहीं देख पा रहे। Similarly, he is also not able to see anything. So this was a smile the old man enjoyed by himself. He was blind. 38 years ago, he had lost his sight completely. He had his last look at the world even before his youth was over. Naru was his only means of locomotion. So, Naru is Labonya's real brother. Many people in these circumstances would think, what a relief if the old man died, and as long as he lives, he suffers himself and makes other people suffer. But Lavonya's family did not think that way. They all looked after the grandfather's comfort. One of the many reasons behind that was the fact that for several years now, he had been receiving a monthly stipend of 75 rupees. So basically, here, the grandfather is not a liability for Labanya's family because he gets pension, and because of that, their family is able to survive properly. So now, description of Labanya's father has been given, that how he tries to do business. First, he opens a grocery shop, which he is not able to, which goes into losses. And now he has opened a washing shop, basically. So as of Lavanya's father, he had earlier opened a grocery shop, which was a total loss. Now he had started a laundry shop, which was picking its pace. Because of this, Lavanya had sometimes been called a washerman's daughter during a quarrel, but actual surname was Das Gupta. Have this so what happened here is, in these two paragraphs, in दोनों पैराग्राफ में ये बताया गया है कि लवन्या के जो ग्रैंडफादर थे वो ब्लाइंड है, पर वो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है फैमिली के लिए, क्योंकि उनको एक पेंशन मिलती है जिसकी वजह से उनकी फैमिली अच्छी खासा गुजारा कर पाती है। और जो लवन्यास के फादर हैं, उन्होंने ग्रोसरी शॉप खोली थी, पर वो टोटल लॉस में थी, और अभी भी वो स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज नाउ उन्होंने क्या खोली है, एक कपड़े धोने की शॉप, और उसकी वजह से बहुत बार लवन्या को स्कूल में चिढ़ाने के लिए बच्चे बोल देते हैं कि तू तो धोबी की बेटी है, बट उसका एक्चुअल सरनेम दासगुप्ता है। सो अब बेसिकली नेक्स्ट सीन ये होता है कि रोड पे एक टैक्सी ड्राइवर और एक रिक्शा की बेसिकली लड़ाई हो जाती है, दोनों आपस में थोड़े टकराते हैं और लड़ाई हो जाती है। और वो सीन जो नारू है, बेसिकली लवन्यास का भाई, he is very much eager and interested in seeing that, but on the other hand, Labanya's father is resistant. He is not enjoying that how the people are fighting and what is happening there. He is least interested. So this is the description that I've taken about the fight. Have they started fighting? Asked the grandfather. People seem to beat each other up for no reason these days. What's going on with them? We don't have to know anything about it, said Bishwanath. Bishwanath is Labanya's father. His name is Bishwanath. Is a total uninvolved voice. If the police come and ask us, we can speak the truth that we didn't see or hear anything. So, from this particular line, this last line, that we didn't see or hear anything, which shows that Biswanath is not interested in what society is doing, because his most important thing is to feed the family members that he has in the house. So he is least interested that what people are doing. On the other hand, the grandfather or Naru are interested that what is happening on the streets. So you'll see in this particular scene, the whole village or the whole locality is out, and what are they doing? They are all interested in what is the fight about, and they all are trying to abuse or to hit the driver basically. So now the expression of Viswanath has been captured in the novel, where there was always an expression of subdued grievance on Viswanath's face. He felt that too many people had cheated him, not that he wanted to extract revenge. But he did not wish to be engrossed in the affairs of anybody either. So he had one basic thing to live upon, that I need to work hard, I need to run my business, and I need to earn money for my family. So, unable to certain her impatience at home, her is Labanya. So, Labanya finally walked out of the house. She too could hear the brawling at the end of the road, but she did not go in the direction. None of the men folk were at home now. Were all went to the place where there was a fight, and they were enjoying that scene. They had all joined the shadowy crowd in the darkness, but Lamanya knew that one man could not be found there. And this one man is Arjun, our protagonist, and the name of the novel basically. As she entered the house, first she called Pashima. Pashima is basically referred to the elder womanly figure. She knew very well that Pashima went over to the neighboring colony this time every evening to listen to readings from the Hindu epic Haran Thakur's rendering of the Ramayana was something that no widow in the locality could resist. But still, Lavinia had to call for Pashima. It was a rule of etiquette to first call the name of senior person in the house if you are visiting. Lavinia took a few more steps towards the door. This time she hailed Arjunda. But again, there was no answer. Lavinia pushed the door open and entered the room. So what happened here is Lavinia was very much irritated because she was not able to study. तो वो क्या करती है, वो सोचती है कि मैं बाहर जाऊंगी क्योंकि पढ़ाई तो हो नहीं सकती। तो वो जाती है अर्जुन दा के घर। तो एज अ एटिकेट और एज अ मैनर, जैसे रूल्स फॉलो करते हैं वैसे ही वो सबसे पहले पिशिमा को आवाज देती है कि 2 मिनट उनके साथ बैठ के देन शी विल टॉक टू अर्जुन दा। बट पिशिमा इज नॉट देयर, शी नोज दैट शी इज नॉट देयर। बट एक जनरल रूल होता है, कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट होता है टू फॉलो, कि पहले एल्डर से बात करी जाती है और फिर उसके बाद जिससे आपको बात करनी होती है। Then she calls Arjun, but he is also not there. So she goes into the room, she steps in the room, and what she sees is there is entire darkness, and he is lying, he's kind of sitting in a sitting position, but his head, he has tilted his head somewhere. She felt something sticky on her palm and looked again more closely at the tall body of the young man half lying across the table. She knew then it was blood that she had got on, and then she screamed. तो जैसे वो टच करती है तो उसके हाथ में कुछ चिक्की सा होता है, and she soon realized that this is blood. And this man has been referred to Arjun, which is our protagonist. So in the next video, I'll be explaining chapter 2. Thank you for watching this video. And in the comment box, you can mention whatever novel play you want me to make a video.